Hello everybody. Welcome to Monday Night Live. How's everybody doing today? Okay. So today, RB's in the chat. Welcome to the stream. Okay. So today we are going to get my poo together. Is what we're going to do. I have been putting off some admin things, so I thought I was gonna wrap up all these files myself, and then I thought, you know what, let's just work with some of the behind the scenes stuff that I do a little bit here and there. So last week I worked on the back of the card, which came out really fun. I'm very happy with it. I sat on it, I checked in on it a couple times, and I'm pretty happy with the results. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the rest of our files together that we need to get sorted for getting this ready and up on Behance. And then when we're done, if we finish early on that, we're going to do some tarot updates and kind of how I do some of the behind the scenes there as well. So I am going to do, oh, I'm missing one. Okay, I don't have Dan's card. Okay, that's okay. We'll get this started anyway. So this original file here, we're in Illustrator on the desktop today. And this original file here is the one I used for the templates. But what I'm going to do is clean it up a little bit so we don't need the Joker and everything in here. Because the idea for this is going to be, unlock my guides. The idea here is going to be that people can either download the raw files. That's in the other file, and get rid of this, is they can download the Illustrator file and have all 4 cards of a suit, or just make this a little easier to get rid of the, to export all the other cards instead of having each one of these be their own Illustrator file. And I'll show you a little bit more about what that means in a second. So what I'm going to do here, so we have all these, we're going to do the diamonds. So the ace, that means we have RB first. He showed up to the stream first, so we used to do his card first. Okay, center on the page, and all I'm doing is holding shift and dragging here to get rid of the template there. And then, so okay, I'm gonna walk through that actually. I just went really fast. Sorry, guys. So diamonds, so the Jack of Diamonds Dan is doing, so I don't have that raw file yet, so we will just move on to the other cards. We'll leave it blank for now. We have all the other all the hearts, so I think we'll sort that out there in a minute. So make sure everything's alive. Not fair, I had the least amount of space to work on. You had the most amount of space to work on. The aces, you had the whole card. You had so much space. Don't worry about it, man. Okay, so this isn't updating live, so I'm just going to quickly pop my chat open here. Sorry for the... It's not live chatting. You had lots of space. The aces had their own art space. It's perfect. What is happening? Come on, Tech. Play the game, bro. Seriously? Okay. We will get... I'm like 98% certain that the computers are rebelling. What is happening? I'm so glad I could hear myself say that. Myself. Okay. Sorry. Restream usually shows my comments, and it's not today, so that's super fun. So sorry for the oh, I didn't update Discord. I'm not coordinated today, boys. So sorry. Least amount of space to work on. Alright, so there's RB there. And then I will put YouTube over here. How's that? Oh, why is everything signed out? So sorry, guys. This isn't entertaining at all. So sorry. Please hold. I just want to be able to watch all the chats. I want to make sure that oh, for Pete's sake. Are you sure you are who you say you are? Sorry, guys. Please hold. Oh, for Pete's sake. Oh, I love hearing my voice. Are you sure you are? Oh, I can't even mute this. It's so silly. Okay. Anyway. Split. And we load Facebook. I'm trying to choose another one. Here we go. My goodness. Okay. Here we are. Chat away. Let's just see what we got here. I am currently live. There! Now I can see all the fancy comments. Oh my goodness. And what does OBS share? Just a little less. Sweet. Life is good. Okay. Okay, so back to what we were doing. So sorry. Okay. So I have all my documents laid out in different folders here. I had each artist had their own folder for each card so that I can combine my half and their half, or just their art if that was the case. So now we're putting all the diamonds in a single file. So that one's diamonds with Penny. So we have King Bob's art, which is mine, and then the King of Diamonds, which was Penny's final. And then I combine them into this final folder here. So all I'm doing is selecting all, so Command All and then Command C for copy and paste. And then I'm just going to click on this artboard here and Command 0, which centers everything, and then hit paste. And that just put everything in the same group, and it should have kept my layering, etc., which it seems to have done, which is great. And I'm going to click save. And then we're going to open the next one. Now, the reason why I'm copying and pasting here instead of just placing the file, this is on the wrong side. Pickles. Right? She sure is. Okay. Okay. So we're going to switch this up first. So the reason why, I'm doing a copy and paste instead of a place is I want to make sure that all the vector art stays. It doesn't mean that a place won't have the vector art stay. I just want to be sure it stays because we really want to make sure that this is all vector art when we're done. We don't want it to be all pixelated or anything. So, and this will for sure keep all my layering. Okay, we're good here. Sorry, I just switched where the queen was because that's where it is. Antoine's in the chat. Welcome to the stream. I've seen you pop up on my notifications for streaming lately. What are you streaming? I'm usually at work, so I can't check in. So what have you been streaming, Antoine? Tell us the tea. Because I will happily plug it here. So fun. Okay. So each of these have their own artboard as well. This is something I mentioned on another live stream. I can't remember which one. You're talking about artboards and things. Artboards are a really good way to to kind of like have your art all organized and everything else, and have everything later, and it'll help with the export later on. So normally, like I on the stream, it was last week or the week before, I would just do my art and I'd put it all over the whole Illustrator file all in this gray space, and then like, okay, I like this, so I'm gonna copy and paste this over here so that I can save it, and then, oh, before I do the divide, I'll copy this here, and just kind of like fill the whole space, which is fine. It works for like a lot of my rough files and kind of thinking and stuff like that, especially if I'm working with text with a logo or something. I'm always testing out different fonts and different layouts and everything, so it's one of those things that you always want to trial and error. But when you're going to be exporting the files like we're going to be doing today, it's nice to use artboards. So a friend of mine politely pointed out, like, hey, do you know how artboards work? And it's made my life a lot easier. So I'm going to show you when we do the export here how they can really help you. I'm just going to let Discord know that I am here because I'm not going to be able to copy this. Really? Copy text. There we go. Do. Okay. Antoine said, I was streaming some video games to test different connections. Oh, I see. Been streaming since last year. Okay, awesome. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing something. Now I know what's going on, so I appreciate that. Everything's quiet. Okay, good. That's awesome. So yeah, check out Proxy Stream. Check it out. Streaming on Twitch. Love it. Love it. Okay. Cool. We don't want to... Oh, shoot. Yeah, we do want to save the Queen of Diamonds. Okay. So close that one. Now... Okay, I'm going to export first. So I have this Vector Magic Face Card Diamonds file. So everything's on its own artboard. You can see that over here in the artboard window, which you can open from your Windows menu here. And you can copy and paste them, have different sizes. Like there's lots of, like these are all the same size because we want the output to be the same. But you can use your artboards for different kinds of layouts as well. Like I know some people will use it. Maybe they use Express a little bit more, but like they would use it for social media content so that you have all your different sizes. So like your smartphone size, your website size. For a logo, I know Dan has some like really big artboard spreads that have like different sizes to accommodate different kind of branding content. So say like you were doing something for a brewery, you could have artboards that would have like your coaster size, then your label size, then your big packaging size and everything. So it kind of helps keep everything organized within your document, but you have all the different sizes again for export, which is great. And then if you have lots of artboards, you can just double click on these different sizes, like artboard names, and it will zoom into it. You can also name those as well if you're extra organized. All right, so we're gonna save this for right now, and then I'll show you how those artboards can work. So we're going to, File, export as, and I want to get the diamonds exported. So we're in the same location. I'll just put it in the main face card file for now. And then I have PNG selected, which is what I want. Or do we want JPEG? Let's just do JPEG. JPEG, which is a flat raster image. And then we're going to say use artboards. So if I had not done this, it would just kind of export all the art that is in, even if it's outside of the artboards and everything. It would export all of it as one big image. Here we want it broken down. So use the artboards. I want to do all the artboards. You can be a little bit more selective if you want like just one of these pages. I'm doing a JPEG for this one. We're doing flat images for, these ones are a raster for the coloring pages. So we're actually going to do both. And then I want a suffix here because it's going to export for, I think it would do it anyway for me because they all have the same name here, but we're going to have it do that for us. I want it to be a maximum size. I want the high resolution. You can go really small if you'd like. If you're exporting for a screen, like if you're doing just something for online, you can do 72 dpi. I very rarely will use less than 150 dpi or ppi in this case. They mean the same thing. But it's just basically how pixelated you want the image to be. Most of my graphics I'll export at a high level 300 dpi just because it gives it a lot more pixelation. It does make the file size larger, and then and it makes it it does make the file size larger because it's more information for it to hold on to, but it holds some of the quality. So we're gonna do I'm gonna do high right now because we still want them to be nice quality, and then we click OK, and sometimes it'll take me to the Finder and sometimes it won't. Okay, so here they are right here. So not very clear, so let's pop this open. So this is what they did. So these are the JPEGs, diamonds, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to rename these just so I can remember which one is which, so that when we get the final from Dan, we can substitute it in. So like when I get the final card from Dan, when I get the final art to put in the jack here, I can just export just the third artboard instead of exporting all of them all the time and then worrying about duplicates, and especially now that I've renamed them. So we don't want to worry about that too much. So I am going to add a folder here. Final files. So we're going to put the, not the jack, we're going to put these in the final files. And then I'm going to do the same thing again for a PNG. We're just going to see, I want both files formats in this case for right now because a PNG you can export so it has like some transparency. In the background, so a PNG is really great like if you have a logo that's got kind of see-through like see-through element to it or transparency. JPEG's gonna have a background. There's lots of different things you can do to manipulate these things. PNGs are great for this. I usually use a lot of PNGs, but we want to have both right now because it's also like, see right here, you can see like a little bit, you can see that grid in the back. That's showing that that's going to be transparent. So if they're going to be bringing those in, they're going to be bringing those into say fresco to colorize it or something else. It's going to be all just kind of see-through on the outside. They don't have to worry about the white, but and you can make that decision for yourself as well. So the background is transparent, or you can have a white or black background. Again, I want to have a high resolution one, so click OK. The lady breakdancing from 2024. Oh shoot, what was her name? Oh, I can't remember. So sad. Okay. So the same thing happened here. We've got diamonds. These are a PNG. So I'm going to do the same renaming just so I know what I have. You don't have to name this. You can just leave them as they are if that works for you, but I like to have things cleaned up with the snapback. Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. No, not 3. I just like to have these all just labeled and named because it won't be, I will absolutely not go back and do it later. I'm just going to delete both of these templates right now because we don't need them. Okay. So we still have the Illustrator file here, so I'm just going to make sure it's saved as is. And then instead of setting up a brand new file and kind of relaying everything out, I'm just going to do, sorry, again, shortcuts fast, sorry. I'm going to do File, Save As, or Shift Command S. And I want to save it on my computer, not to my Creative Cloud right now, although the Creative Cloud probably would make sense. But we won't do that right now. And I'm just going to rename this Hearts. So what that's going to do is that's going to keep all of our file formats, all of our layout here, all the settings that I have in place. Everything is going to stay in this file. But now I can replace the art with the heart content rather than going back in and resetting this up. Like this is just 4 artboards at the 11 by 14, I think that we set it up as. But if you have more complex files, things like my tarot files, like with the layouts that I have set up, I've done them on live streams in the past, where it's a little bit more of a complex file. Oh, hey, bud. That instead of setting it up every time and remembering what I did and kind of like having to redo the layers and everything, I want to make sure that I have everything maintained. So I do a File, Save As, and then just kind of replace the content. It'll save a little time, and for the more complex illustrations, it'll save some frustration and having to remember all the steps and all the layers you set up and all that kind of fun stuff. So now we're in Hearts. Oh, yes. She came out so good. So Command 0 to center it. Paste. And it'll paste to the center of your artboard unless you do like a paste in front or paste in back. So that's why I'm centering it each time, because if I did this, she'd be off the page. And then I'd have to drag her over. This way it's going to be centered. And like, as you saw where RB's layout was, is in the same position. So when we scan through these, in theory, everything should be nice and centered. Okay, I just want to pull this in because I don't like how those are a tangent. This is all on one artboard, isn't it? Curses. Nuts. Okay, I'm just going to... Oh, come on, you lock selection. So that now I can do the direct select tool and click and drag everything that's selected. And now just scale it down a little bit. I changed my mind. What I want to do now, I don't want to scale it because I want it to overlap the A a little bit. I just don't want touching that. Okay, let's try again. Sorry, I got a little aggressive. Okay. What I just don't like this tangent right here in the circle, if you can see it. So I'm just going to move this over. So it's more of a deliberate overlap. It draws the eye a little bit less. So that was the first thing I saw when I opened the file. And you don't want your eye drawn away like that if you can help it. Or maybe you do, but I prefer not to. Okay, so the ace is done. And then King of Hearts was Alessandra. Woohoo! And Mojo. If you just hold shift and click, it will select anything while you click and drag. It'll select anything new and deselect anything that's already selected. It takes some getting used to, but you can definitely make it work for you, for sure. I have to show you the best way of making a heart in Illustrator. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Oh yeah, man. Okay, final. Is this the final? Sweet. Oh, I'm so happy with how this one came out. So stoked. So again, holding shift while you click and drag. Now, there is a weird shift here. I think there's something on the outside of this artboard. I think that's why. All right, so what's everybody up to tonight? Just chilling. The heat has broken. It will return, so I'm trying to enjoy it while I have the calmness. All right, and then we want... This isn't the final. This is the final? Yes! Freaking live. Jane was back on the streams this week. She's been off sick, so we're happy to see her back. Woohoo. Slay. Oh dear, Antoine's, I'm debugging, testing the software of Razor and my mouse. Which at the boot up, it's not recognizing. Ugh, what a pain. There's no scanner nearby. It's right here. It's sitting right in front of you. What do you mean? Can't find printer. It's right here. Well, good luck with that. That debugging stuff's enough to make a person crazy. So hopefully it goes smooth. The Razor Synapse 4 have a lot of problems. Oh, yuck. Don't like a buggy software. Enough to make a person crazy. Oh, everybody on Reddit and the Razor Insider. Oh, that's not a good sign. All right, so we're gonna run our export again. This will be kind of perfect. I'll run it into the final files this time, just so I don't have to worry about moving them. Final hearts, PNG, use artboards. Okay. Transparent. Okay. And then we'll go to final file. Sometimes it pops open the location of the file folder, but that's usually kind of a export selection. Sometimes does that instead. So that's why I'm just hesitating. So I don't want to have too many windows open. And like I said, I like to name them right away because I already have too much file management that I have to do. That queue is backwards. Okay, hang on. I already have too much file management I have to do that I'm just not going to go back and change these things. That's not what a queue looks like. Okay, so let's reflect. There we go, bud. Vertical. Yes, okay. So you have to understand what's the mechanism at this bug at the boot up. Oh, yikes. Well, good luck. Transform, reflect. There we go. This is the advantage to coming in and seeing these files again, because that was definitely backwards. Okay, so now I can show you how that works. So if I want to export as PNG, this time I want to use artboards, but I just want to export number 2. You can see over here, this is blue. That's the one we were selected and we were working on. So if you hit 2, export, keep all the same settings. And then now when we go back, what the? Oh, the computers are on the edge today. Final file. So we can see here's our number 2. So it's the queen. Now I think if I had left this as number 2, it would have prompted something and said like, do you want to replace? There's already a Vector Magic Hearts 02 in this folder. Do you want to replace it, or do you want to add like another one? And it would add another suffix, or it'd be like 02-1. But because I renamed it before we did it, it didn't prompt that. So I am going to delete the other Hearts Queen, and because it wouldn't let me rename if I did that. I'd say that it would say, oh, there's something already named that, try something else, and we would go from there. I shut down my PC a few, like 10 times. It seems to be okay, but now it seems to be working. You know what happened, Antoine? You told me, and now it's working. It is my really weird superpower. All you have to do is say, hey, this isn't working. And then I walk over to someone's desk at work and it will start working. It's weird. So you're welcome. I hope that works for you moving forward. I don't know why it does that. All right, yeah. So with so many files on the go here, it's good to keep the naming convention up. I keep getting distracted when I talk about this. So otherwise, it's really hard to go back and find things. Like I don't remember where 4 was on the artboard. Was that the first one or the last one? It just keeps things simple. And now I have 2 of everything ready to go. And we have this saved. All good to go. Okay, so now I just need to pop open here. No, stop doing that. The latest Mac upgrade with that make it full screen is testing. Okay, where is my AI files, export JPEGs and PNG, and we're done. Okay, perfect. Okay, so these are what we wanted. So save. I'm just going to close this because I want to move where it's at. So I want, this is the hearts AI file, and this is the diamonds AI file, Illustrator files that were made today. Yes, okay. So I'm gonna move them to final files because what we're gonna do is Dan has a final file location for us to put all these things in, and then we're ultimately going to be posting them onto the Behance. So I will pop that open right now. I'll be signed out. $20. Yep, there you go. Nuts. I disconnected my device, did a driver cleaner from the Razer EXE and installation every device 1, restarting by 1. Yeah, it seems to be okay. Your magic. Well, thank you. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta just go back to a straight square one for sure. Please go away. Okay, I'm sending you the power waves right now. Okay, so we have a little bit of formatting and things to do, and so what we're going to do, we're going to put all of the JPEGs and PNGs into this Behance page, and we'll also have the downloadable AI file or a PDF so that people can do them digitally as well if they'd like. And we're going to have a folder location, then we're going to link it all in here. So that you can, there'll be a little like downloads pop up here when we're done, and you'll be able to download whichever coloring page you'd like, or all of the coloring pages if you like, and then you'd have it ready to do whatever coloring magic you want while you wait for the book to be ready. So I'm just gonna, I'll message Dan to say that that's all ready to go, and we'll be all finished. And then he'll have his files together and we'll compile everything and we will let everybody know. We'll update the collaborators on this page because right now it says just me and Dan, but we'll have everybody on here so that everybody's going to get credit for it. So now that we're in Behance, that's kind of all I'm going to do for the face cards right now. We have that all sorted out. But I'm going to go through a little bit of how I do my posting for the tarot cards. So each individual card, as you can see, my profile is starting to fill up. Every card's getting its own page because there's a story behind each card. And they all have their own build and everything. I don't want anything to be kind of pushed to the side or on its own. I'm also, as I progress, I'm going to start building individual ones for the special suits. So once like the coins are done, then I'm going to make its own project for just all those 14 cards, for the 14 cards of that deck, of that part of the deck, and then put them all together as well so that you can see the similarities and how they work together. Right now it's just kind of as I'm finishing them, how they're coming together. So we've all seen these projects before, so if I pop open one of these guys, fine, we won't do the Knight of Cups. We'll do the Three of Coins because it's a fresco featured piece. Sorry, I was excited. So they all have kind of a similar rhythm. You start off with the piece of art, getting started, or what my reference looked like, any progress photos I might have had. I don't have as many of these for more recent ones because I've been kind of just like hunkering down and really focusing, and then I forget to export the individual pieces. And then because we've been doing the face cards, there's not as many live streams for each individual card, so I'll just throw up the time lapse. And then we have all the art of the final layout, what the card's going to look like, and then our coloring page plus our final print idea of what I'm going to be sending through. So they all have a similar rhythm, just the description is always a little different for each card, why I chose it, why we have the content for it. So again, rather than just building this over and over and over and over again, I'm like, oh, what came first? Was it the build? Was it getting started? Did the time lapse come before the live stream? It doesn't matter so much if they're a little inconsistent because each card has its own kind of life. But I want to have a little bit of a consistency so people know, like, it's kind of a branding almost. This is the same deck. So what I did was I have the Queen of Swords here, and I just copied it. So if you go to any of these pieces and you do clone, what that does is that copies this whole project and it puts it in your drafts, and then now you can edit it. So I'm going to rename it because I want to make sure that I have the right information for our deck. Insert insight into the chaos. She's the moon, which is the card. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. So I'm going to go right into my settings first because I want to change. I obviously don't want this to be the Queen of Swords copy. I want it to be the moon. And we'll just save that as draft for now. I'll fill all the rest of this out after. Oh, I even spelled this wrong. Good Lord, I'll go fix that. Okay. Okay, so now we give a bit of an introduction. So oh, he's the sun, yes. Okay. So the sun card, this is we're doing the Behance project for the card that I posted yesterday for the moon. Normally I have all of these done well ahead of time, but I've stumbled a little bit this month, so that's why you're helping me catch up. So I appreciate everybody here. Sure. And then we want to replace this image. Now this might not work very nicely. So I find some of the Adobe stuff, it will shift a little. I'll go all the way through all of this and then it won't work and then I'll have to try again, but we'll see. Major Arcana. Here we go. And this one. There we go. So all that does is replace this. I like to have it inside a little bit. And then we've got our art for our lovely lady here. Freaking obsessed. Okay, and then we know the description of the card, and I just have it in my very large documents here. Illusion, fear, anxiety, subconscious intuition. So I'm just going to copy from Made Things so that we know we cover everything. Is that right? Yes. So this is a set of twins. The two of them are twins in our circus, and she can see the future and he can see the past. Not really like this is definitely happening, but kind of like an essence of the person's life happening. The early discovery of her abilities. This causes some anxiety and fear. As this level of intuition creates eventually this skill will pay off. Let's not do any spoilers, shall we? Contribute to the end. Next chapter of our circus. None of that was spoilers, by the way. Read the book; it's really good. Okay, so what was this one? So getting started, I actually have some write-ups on these. This is Trello. We love Trello. Highly recommend Atlassian software. We won't go into how I'm using it right now because it's just a lot. So I did write some of this out like on a lunch break the other day. Okay, so getting started, I knew I wanted to show that we'd met this character already, which we have. She is the little girl who's in the kittens card, all the way back on the first card of the tarot deck. To do that, I included a cat in the illustration to make a connection. Her signature red hair, too, was a must. The character is always in a layered outfit, full of character. I really enjoyed adding all the layers to it, which I did. So many little fun, like, steampunk-ish elements. And, like, because this is set, like, in the 1880s, which is an excellent, excellent costume era. And then you get to have fun with it because it's a circus that just kind of, like, lives on its own, which is really great. Okay, so here we're going to edit the grid. And I'm going to add some files. So now, like, it's remembered where we were last time, which is super awesome. And I'm going to choose, like, I have all these references that I have. They're not one, I didn't use all of these. So I'm just going to select some of the ones that I did use. Again, just holding Command so I can select through a few of them. I don't want all of them. These were all created with Firefly. Upload, and then we're going to delete these guys out of here rather than replace them. Okay, done. And then I know I have other reference. So I wanted switch back. I want this one because this is one of the very early sketches I found somewhere. Download. Okay, is she in my downloads folder? Documents. Oh. Yep. Where are we? We might not need a fourth one here, so I'm just going to edit this and add the sketch. So I was recently in my downloads. It might remember that I was there. And I think I'm going to get rid of this one. There we go. And I'm going to move this to the middle just because it's fun. And I don't need this one. Now I don't have one of the builds. I guess I don't really have the breakdown of the builds. Let me see. Okay, where is she? So as I'm building through the content and file management, a lot of the content for this is on my iPad. So I do have some stage, sweet. Okay, so I will add one in here. So as I'm building these things, a lot of things will be on my iPad, but if I sit down, like I have a Friday every month that I sit down and just do solid work in the studio. But if I'm in an evening or whatever and happening to be on the computer, usually like after the live stream, I'll dump a bunch of files onto my computer and start laying them out. So I have each one has its own folder. And so that's how I know what I have available. Like sometimes there's photos that I've taken of developing it. Here's like references. And luckily here I've done some build pieces, which is a lot of fun. So we can add that section in here. So we're going to add the time lapse above the time lapse here, sorry. Header, bold, italic, the build. And then I'm going to add, I do love that Behance is updated so that you can just kind of insert this here, because for a while you'd have to like insert like text at the bottom and then reorder and drag it up, and it was less than efficient. That's not what I wanted at all. I want to go back to, no, go away. Thank you. Back to the writing that we had so that I don't, come on, bro. Okay. Here we go. This way you guys don't have to watch me type it out. Yeah, paste. I used the original Kittens card for a lot of reference on the illustration. I wanted to show the overlap but growth in the character. It was a lot of fun adding all the different outfit layers for her. The layering of her within the circus crowd is a theme that I will run through many of these cards. I like that it gives a lot, an almost impromptu busker, is that the right word? Yeah. Type energy, giving the circus a less planned feel. I think planning isn't the right word. And leaning towards something more spontaneous. Yes, so I'm going to add an image grid here so that I can see what do we have. What do we got for this? Okay, she's not quite finished. No, I don't want that one. We'll do this. Just push this in. So you can pull your art in, like this is all on Behance, if we weren't sure. You can pull your art in away. Alessandra's here, welcome to the stream. We're building Behance projects. We just finished exporting all of the face cards for Dan and myself to put them on the page on the Behance project there, but we're building some tarot ones now. So you have lots of options with this. So if I find that I want to reorder this in a different way, you can just reorder the project and you can click all your sections, like I said, and you can rearrange them and everything rather than having to delete your grid and move it somewhere else. And this is going to hold us up quite a bit. So this is the time lapse. I've exported all this stuff from my iPad. So right now that's going to just do its thing. Oh dear, had a rough day. That's not good. Yep, go slow. Be careful. Time lapse of the photo. So this is going to take a minute. You can see it's loading here. It's not going to let me do anything with like saving or anything like that until we're done with that. So we'll just continue on to the next step. This is still not Trello. Oh, I don't have a final. Okay, so okay. Overall, I'm very happy with how this card came together. Actually, what I want to do, I also make sure I'm having such a hard time with like the wording because it's twins. I had no problem when it was the two sisters. We had our Lainey and our Tara Burgess cards. I was like, the sisters together, blah, blah, blah. The twins, I don't know, I have a really hard time with the verbiage. So I want to make sure that the twins went together but also had their own personalities within their own cards. Harrison Deleu. Okay, so I'm going to put in another grid here. And we'll, what is this? This. Do I want it to be the card? Yeah, sure. Okay, we'll do this. Boring job going through files. Nope. It's critical work. I'm going through files, but it's definitely something that's very important. Business. Look at these guys. Oh my gosh. It's critical work. I do prefer doing the arting, but this is also very important business. Look at those two. Adorable. He doesn't have a cat with him, but he has snacks. He always has snacks. Yeah, so this kind of like crowd, this I've done this on a few different cards where it's been like the contortionist. Another card I'm just finishing up right now. A few others. I have like this just crowd in the background, so kind of just like all of a sudden we're performing, which is kind of like the energy you want on that as well. Plays into the okay, so again we're going to replace this. So I've done the stream before showing how I create all of these assets. It's a bit of a process. I like to do it kind of from start to finish, through at least one file, like through like all of one card creation. Okay. We have the moon. Oops, the moon. So it's a big start to finish process. I'm happy to go through it pretty much anytime. I'm doing it all the time. But then all the assets are ready. So when you're building something like this, it can go fairly quickly, as you can see, if you have this piece already laid out. The kind of file already laid out. So I can just replace images and add the text in. And this way, each card, like, it feels repetitious, but then we also have each card speaking for itself. So if someone comes in at this card first, they're getting the same experience as if they had been here since the kittens came in. So it's we're finding both things, all of this, like everything at the same time. So everybody's being treated the same. All right, done. Yeah. Now I do have these coloring pages individually, and eventually I'm going to have them like downloadable. I don't have a plan for them as individuals right now. I have some printed and I bring them to markets and things. But I'm going to eventually have like a coloring book, either as like per suit or just as like the whole tarot deck, or just kind of like the ones that are interesting. Like not that some of them aren't interesting, but just some like don't transfer to a coloring page as nicely as something else might. Let's just say that. I'm just off the cuff saying things. But there's a few things I want to do to some of these coloring pages. Like these people are all kind of like empty. I thought maybe it'd be kind of fun to add some patterns and designs and kind of like really beef up these coloring pages. But that's a future Erin percolation. Okay, so this has stopped pondering its life. It's going to keep percolating and updating, but now I can go into settings and change things. I'm going to add our final mock-up. because it'll keep loading that video. The time lapses can be very large, especially for these files when they're so big and long. Like the time lapses, like something for one of the gnomes, the time lapse might be 30 seconds, but a time lapse for this, because it takes me like multiple sits to do it, it can take some time. Tarot deck. So we just had to put some tags on this. Illustration, digital art, artwork, digital illustration, design. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. We used Fresco for this. Now, I'm always sometimes torn about what software to say, because like this final mock-up piece I used Photoshop for, and to put like the other things together, the final layout, I use Illustrator. But I think for the actual art development, we did mostly Fresco, so I just usually credit Fresco to it. Blah, 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 all for me. Oh, save as draft. Publishing is for Wednesday. Spin, 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 spin. You mean Alessandra? Or is Penny here and I didn't see her chat? Uh-oh. Please don't make a mess. Come on, Behance. Don't undo all my work. I should have saved before I did the timelines. Okay, perfect. Okay, phew. So yeah, sorry, the video is really long, so it's going to keep percolating itself, and it's going to do its thing. And then if I were to like publish it right now, then it would just kind of be like, hey, this is still processing, but it'll eventually kick into gear when it's ready to go. Okay, so save as draft, which we just did. I'm going to do it again just to be on the safe side. So if I go back out to our work now, here's our new project, all updated and ready to go. And then it can save, it can just sit here in my drafts for a long time. So I have kind of like a posting routine, a schedule where I can kind of just put when I'm putting things out. So usually on a Wednesday, I'm going to put the Behance project out, just so that the cards are each kind of getting their own turn throughout a week, and they'll get their turn. So this will sit in my work in progress folder, and then this will be the next card, and then the next card, and the next card. So this is I usually have like 4 or 5 in the back burner, ready to go. But this month just kind of got away from me having all these backup things here. So this is kind of part of that process. So yeah, that's just kind of like a little insight to the behind the scenes of what's going on as we build up the projects. And then that takes the pressure off. I'm not building this like the morning of Wednesday. I'm just putting it all in and checking for spelling mistakes and everything, and then posting it that day. It's just sitting here ready, so I can click the send button and we'll go out into the universe and we'll be ready to go. And then it will add to its collection of friends here. Super fun, right? Right? I love it. Look at this. Look at them come together. I freaking live. We actually have exciting insights. Please hold. Stay there. So I got a few of the cards test printed. Ow, don't kick the air conditioner. It hurts. Okay, let's see if I can switch this. There we go. Ah, close up, scary. Ah. So I did a test print of 10 cards. They're amazing. They're linen cards. They feel so good. They're so nice. They came out. So actually, our lovely lady that we worked on here is a for real tarot card. Check it out. It's a little blurry. I'm right in a window, so there's a bit of a glare. But they came out so nicely. Yeah, it jumped out and kicked me. Check it. So we've got that. We've got our fortune teller, our snake charmers, our acrobats. Oh my gosh, they came out so nice. A little concerned they might be a little thin, but you know what? They're holding up okay. I've literally been carrying these around since they came in. They came out so nice. They're so great. Like real tarot card size. Sorry guys, the camera's mirrored and I keep messing it up. But it's a linen cover, so they're nice and soft. I chose that one because I was reading some forums on tarot card prints when I was looking for printers who will do it. This is not doing them justice. They have wicked high res detail. Like, yeah, there's a little blurry. It's just that time of night, guys. Sorry. So keep an eye out. I'm going to be posting these on my socials and stuff with higher res photos. So just the glare is kind of getting in our way here a little bit. We were doing the live stream on this one not long ago. But yeah, so like I wanted to test print before I finished the whole deck. So pressure's off. We need to keep Printer Studio in business for another year so that they can print the rest of the deck when I'm done. But yeah, seeing them in real life, like as real tarot cards, come on. I was like freaking out. I'm not even halfway done yet. Oh my gosh, so exciting. So yeah, so they came together really nicely. Very stoked. Also exciting news. Last week was a big one because I was accepted into the Adobe Experts Community Club last week. So I am going to be joining those of you who are a part of that group. I've got to do my journeys. I've got to get onto the community space. But I'm now partnering with Adobe like all of you guys who are on the stream. So got some tarot cards. I got some fun Adobe news. So yeah, it's been an exciting week around here. And I have a market this Friday. I know all of you, those on the chat are a little far away, but I do a market this weekend. It's all kinds of exciting things. So I'm back at the Bar Antique in the fall, so I'm in a shop for the holiday season. It's been a good week. It's been a really good studio week. Congrats on Adobe. Thank you so much. I'm very excited to get going. Just need to sit down with all my tutorials and everything else to see how things are going. But I think that's all for now. A little different, a bit of a stream this week, but it's just a little bit of a different stream. But this is behind the scenes. This is all part of the work as well. Like, you know, that there's this creation of the art, but then you have to manage it and you have to handle it and get it ready for print and all that kind of stuff. So when I do get ready for printing more cards, I may do a stream on how I set that up, because there's a whole thing, like a lot of people who are on the chat will be familiar, but like there's a whole thing about how to set up templates and bleed and crop marks and all this other kind of chaos that also goes into printing. It's not always as simple as click print and go. So that kind of stuff, it's all part of the process. So sometimes we gotta do the behind the scenes. But I think I will let you all get on with your evening. I hope you're having a fabulous day and an excellent start to your week. If not, I hope it gets better. I will be back next week, regular time and channel, probably with a tarot card, I would suspect. And we will get back to you. Keep an eye on the socials because the face cards are almost ready. I'll talk to Dan this week, see where he's at with his files, and we will get things launched for everybody. So I hope it goes well, and I hope you guys are following along to follow all those things. And I will catch you all next week. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you next week. Bye, guys.